3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Welcome into the open where we get technical. You should have investments in long-term growth. Hello, everyone, and good morning. My name is Neal Hamilton. I'm not a cat. I'm just a retail trader, just like you. And I'm here to teach you what I'm learning. I'm a little bit out of breath right now because I just ran into my kitchen to get a pot to bang for the opening bell, as it is about 9:30 a.m. Eastern time.
Excuse me, Elise, you just got a pot to bang, and that's it. Thanks. Bye. From your kitchen.
I mean, that's Jason Raznick.
I thought that was pretty good. All right.
That was good. That was good.
All right.
All right, folks, that is Jason Raznick. As you know, he is the guy that promoted me from intern status when I used to sweep the floors at Benzinga and just returned Luke Jacoby's energy drink cans. Then one day, Jason Raznick took a shine to me, noticed how much money I was making on those can returns, decided to make it into a line of business at Benzinga. Benzinga can returns. And I started marketing that. Next thing you know, I'm here on this show with all these silly gooses having silly fun times with you guys. Enough of that. I've got my stream, or not my stream. I've got my screen shared. I want to talk about a couple things. I didn't have a chance this morning to do my little outline for you guys. Number one that I want to talk about is let's just check in on our stock. This was our pick that we had yesterday. I don't know, Spencer, do you recall if we had FPRX yesterday or the day before?
It was, what's today, Friday? FPRX was like a Tuesday or Wednesday thing.
All right, folks. FPRX is forming a beautiful cup and handle formation here, and we are closed above it. We are in breakout territory. This is a stock to keep your eyeballs on. Put your eyeballs right up against your screen until it gets really uncomfortable and watch this stock. This is the weekly. Let me switch it to not 1 hour. Let me switch it to the daily. We are looking healthy. I know yesterday everything else was looking red and FPRX was looking good. So we've got strong momentum coming into the stock for this breakout. We have volume trending upward. We are looking for a break above resistance right about where we are. So we are testing this resistance line. Where's my stop? Right on this red line, which you guys probably can't see. You guys always flame me in chat when you can't see my lines, but my stop is at about 1890, which is just below the lowest point of the handle on our cup and handle. And I'm looking for big gains on this stock. Shout out to a gentleman on Twitter who is schooling me on cup and handle patterns. I've been doing them my way, which I will continue to do, but he showed me something cool that I'm going to share with you right now. When you have a cup and handle pattern, you have an upward trend and then a tiny little downward trend. What you can do there is use a Fibonacci trend-based fib extension tool, which is probably on your Thinkorswim account if you use that, which is probably on whatever charting tool you're using. All right. This is not a fib retracement. Fib retracement is like this. Go to the bottom, and then we go to the top. So it's swing low to swing high when it's a bullish move. And that gives us an idea of where the stock might bounce and return to trend, which here is pretty damn spot on. We can see that it lines just about up with the bottom of this handle, but that's not what we're doing here. Normally, I would set my price target like this. I go to the bottom of this stock, the depth of my cup. I'd go up to the resistance, and then I would add that distance to my breakout point, which is the resistance line on this pattern, which would put my target at about $29.60, targeting about $37 in quick profit. Or not $37, 37%. But something cool, something fast. We can use this fib tool. Go to the bottom of the swing low, go to the swing high, and then go back down once again to the bottom of your handle pattern. And we get, in this case, a more conservative price target. So that first price target is where the 100% line comes in on the Fibonacci. What is this thing called? Fib extension tool. So we got fib retracements, and in this case, fib extension. So shout out to the gentleman who showed me that. I love it. I think a lot of times with these lesser known stocks, that the more conservative price target is extremely helpful. So I know that if I get a close above this point, it's time to pile in. Not a lot of options on this one.
Neal, before I get away from you for the rest of the day, okay, for the hour, I just want you guys to see Neal, how hard he goes on his technicals and shows you guys. Neal's giving you the behind the scenes action. Any technical thing that you're looking for, stock, Neal knows it all. Okay. And guess what? If there's something that you're not liking that Neal's talking about, talk about it in the chat. Discuss stock ideas. It's 9:30, guys. Wake up. Smell the coffee. It's James Santiago's trading SNDL. That's a crazy stock to trade right now. But Neal is a fucking genius when it comes to this stuff. So you guys talk in the chat, talk stocks. Neal, it's amazing what you've learned. Neal learned this stuff in 2 years, and he's the freaking man. So guys, talk it up. Have fun. Neal, I won't bother you again. I just wanted to say I was listening to it, learning about Fibonacci, which I didn't really know a bunch about. I want to know who Fibonacci is, but this is just great. So Neal, I won't interrupt again. I will leave. It's your show. I'm just interrupting it. But I want to say, guys, start talking. Talk about your ideas. Talk about your trades. Don't worry. Neal likes it. Have fun. Peace.
Thanks, Uncle Raz. That's Uncle Raz, everyone. All right, shout out in the chat for a conservative. This is really cool. So you do this with cup and handles. This is something I've done in the past. I usually give 2 price targets. I say price target 1, price target 2. One's conservative, one's aggressive. Moving the depth of the base height, making a line out of that, and then adding that to the bottom of our handle, we actually hit this 100% point on the Fibonacci. It's crazy how that stuff works. So watch this stock. Thank you for the tip in chat, guys. This is just a reminder also. The genius designation, I agree with 100%. But in all honesty, I'm learning. That's the point of this show, is I'm teaching you things that are very rudimentary, but they are actually working for me. So that's why I'm sharing them with you. I'm sharing you stocks that I'm actually in that are actually making me money. Yes, we're going to have some losers. I'm going to talk about one shortly. But this is all about having a sound system that verifies various indicators, telling you what might happen with a stock, what is likely to happen with a stock, and then making a disciplined trade based on that to supplement your investments, because hopefully you've got some long-term investments that are making you money. All right, cool. So that is FPRX. New stock to watch. We've got CVV. 2 V's. All right. This is another cup and handle. It is a cup and handle day. All right. Let me know in chat or in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube if you knew about CVV before I'm bringing it up right now. Let me know if you've been in CVV, because I believe that back in October of last year, this thing was quite popular. This is one of those tickers that no one would shut up about. So we've got a cup and handle pattern here. Yeah, it looks a little wonky, but price patterns follow natural law. Natural nature sometimes looks a little funky, but we've got an upper trend, the left side of a cup. We've got the right side of the cup just about meeting it at resistance. That screen is outdated. This screen is not outdated, my friend. This is up to date. Let me go full. And then we've got a resistance line. So for CVV, we'll look at CABR. And Janet, I cannot provide financial advice. This isn't advice. If you guys actually follow what I'm doing, that's dumb. don't actually literally do what I'm doing. Take the lessons and reinforce what you're learning and try to make more educated decisions. Something that Rob Smith, creator of the Strat, said is that trading is not a one-person job. He thinks it should be done in pairs or in teams. And I agree with that 100%. I love when I talk about a ticker and you guys in chat say that you're also in it, or you agree with the technicals, or you give me another way to look at it. So that's what this is about. All right, so we've got a cup and handle on CVV, looking for a close above resistance, probably somewhere around the 748, 750 area. We just want a healthy green candle close. That's it. At any rate, that is CVV. Palantir. Guys, I actually got to get my phone out. I bought calls, in the money calls expiring today on Palantir on a whim yesterday, like right before the close. And then of course we got the news that Kathy Woods bought a whole bunch of Palantir. Is Palantir in a good spot? Let's pull up the old Bollinger in terms of trend. So it hit the lower deviation in the Bollinger Band, and looks like it might be returning to mean right now. Just give me a second. I just want to check on the trade. Just give me a sec. Expires today, so yeah. Yeah, baby. All right, let me just sell this. Oh wait, no. Oh yeah, I can sell it. Real quick, guys. Okay, so that will be in the money call expiring today on Palantir at the strike price of $25. So I got the $25 strike price expiring today. That cost me $73 per contract. Well, per option. And I made $295 per option on it. Very quick. Very, very quick. So that's something I want to talk to you guys a lot more about, because I think that once we get through the sort of longer term trends that we're looking at and sort of these just like breakouts that we're going to have to watch for a few days to a week, I want to start looking at individual stocks and then looking at entries using options. I'm excited. All right, so I have some more. So what do you guys want? Give me a one if you want tickers from chat. If you want tickers from chat. Well, it was 2.95 per contract, $2.95 per contract, and then which comes out to $295. Give me a one if you want to give me your tickers, and we'll look at them, or if you want to go back through the watch list. Two for going back through the watch list. I'm a little discombobulated after all those compliments that Jason gave me. All right, tickers from chat. Not a lot of price history on this, AFRM. This is from chat. Going over a band. Let me know. And guys, if you give me a ticker, give me some just like, even if it's just a sentence, give me a ticker and give me some sentence of why you're interested in it, why you want me to look at it. Because a lot of times I'll pull these up and I can search for something, but this thing obviously, we've got some support here. In fact, it's actually kind of trending upward, which is nice. I want to pull up the 10-day exponential moving average on this, or this is actually the SMA. So we've crossed below the 10-day moving average. So if this starts to bounce back up, I think you could reasonably make a target for a return to that 10-day mean. Let's go to 4-hour. Yeah, not really sure what you see in this. I don't know the stock. It's a firm. Oh, a firm. Ooh. Okay. This is where fundamentals do really matter. A firm is doing things. A firm is a very innovative company. A firm. This is the company that does gives you the option on e-commerce sites to pay in installments. Do you know how many things have you guys bought since that started showing up? My house, I have 2 couches in my studio apartment. I have 2 refrigerators on each side of the couch, so I don't have to get up. And I'm paying them down $10 a month. It's crazy. Spencer?
Yeah, I was gonna just chime in and say exactly what you just said. It's basically Rent-A-Center, but better, like good, and like allows you to pay in installments. And Rent-A-Center meets technology is how I think about it. It's a massive fintech company. There aren't many fintech companies at the level that Affirm is at.
Yeah,
in terms of valuation, et cetera, et cetera. It's huge.
I want the technical thesis though on Affirm, guys. Get me that technical thesis. What I can tell you right now, though, if my friend Matt Maley were here, he would look at this and he'd say it's starting to get into oversold territory. Expect to bounce. We've got an overall upward trend on this bad boy. All right, let me do a little fib here, a little fib retracement. That is a big retracement. I will say that. That is a big retracement, but overall it is a higher low and it's starting to curve up. Let's watch this stock. Affirm added to the watch list. We will continue to check in on this. It would be great if this is one of those stocks that starts to trend upward that we can regularly trade on the ups and downs. Give me another stock. Probably shifted alt. Okay, so we'll do LRCX because I need a technical reason. LRCX. Lamb Research, is that right? LRCX.
The one.
That's right. All right, thanks. Ooh. Guys, take a look. Hold on one sec. Let's get in here. Let's dig in. Hold on. Let's get the daily. Start with the daily. Let's look at this thing over a longer period of time. All right, we got a golden cross here. We have moving averages crossing. We had a shorter term moving average crossing a longer term moving average. Buy signal. I'm going to turn that off. I mean, I think this is just a great stock right now. You're in a bullish trend. That's all I have to say. You're in a bullish trend. If you want to trade it on an ongoing basis, follow the patterns. Follow the obvious patterns. What do we got here? You already know, baby. You already know. Good pick. Good pick. All right. So usually you want to see here. Let me see what this actually looks like. Let's do a little fib. I'll start here and then go to the top. It's not quite 50%. Usually you want the cup of a cup and handle to go down about 50%, retrace about 50% of the previous trend. Let's see if it does so. Well, it obviously wouldn't do that for the longer term trend. And then for the shorter term trend here, I don't know if that really works for it. It should be something more like this is kind of where we want it to be. So not bad. I think we got a cup and handle here, guys. A cup and handle on LRCX. I like what I'm seeing. It is breaking above. We are experiencing a change in trend. So with these Bollinger Bands, when we see them expand like this from the volatility in the stock, the Bollinger Band being this blue line, usually means there's some type of change in the trend. Hey, Austin. Sorry to disappoint you. Sylvia will be here very soon. So, guys, I see a cup and handle here. Let's go ahead and set a price target for it. I think you can reasonably say this is a cup and handle. And let's use the new fib thing that my friend taught me. At the high, down to the swing low for a conservative price target of 689. Conservative price target of 689 on LRCX. Awesome pick from chat. Awesome pick. Awesome. Adding that to the watch list. I like it. Is this? Yeah, it's a big stock. I bet it's optionable. I bet I can get some options on it. Will I buy options on a Friday? No. In general, it is not advisable if you're getting shorter term plays. So like a trade, that's something that you expect to resolve in like a week or something like that, or maybe a month. That's based on like a breakout pattern in general. It is not advisable to get options over the weekend. Why? Because crazy shit can happen on the weekend and destroy you. It can crater you. So I generally avoid buying options on Fridays. Wait till Monday, see what this thing looks like. I might just get in. So thanks for the pick. Hey, Sylvia. Sylvia's in chat. Coming up in about 10 minutes, 10 a.m., we have Sylvia Bellrock. If you don't know her, look her up on Twitter, follow her. And Spencer will be dropping her website in where you can learn how she does her trades, how she sets them up. She's a fantastic technical trader, significantly better than me. So we'll have her on in just 10 minutes. All right, let's get another pick from chat. I love this one. Your guys' picks are pretty much better than mine. Let's check in on Oxy, though. Oxy is still trending the way I want it to trend. I mean, this is bullish. I'm still, like, I told you guys I took 50% of my holding of my position off the table. But I will pile in if we see a significant close above this gap line here. All right. Because once again, I am shooting for the moon with Oxy. Yes, it is not performing compared to its peers, but I'm still in. So that's an oil stocks, Occidental, and then petroleum. And then another one I want to look at really quick, XOM, Exxon. Guys, come on. Show some love for Exxon. All right. This is a double bottom following a pretty sideways trend. Keep your eye on this one. All right. Another stock from chat with a little bit of a technical reason on why you're interested in it. Please. We can look at FUBO because that's on the watch list. Concerns about FUBO. It's getting pretty far into this triangle. All right. And it's crossed past the 20-day moving average. Looking like we might be entering a, albeit perhaps brief, downward trend. All right. Usually when we're looking at this cup here, we want to see something, if you're drawing a triangle, around a half to 2/3. Start to see the breakout. That's a sweet spot. So like even I might move this a little bit more like that. Like you want to see the breakout happen like right about there. The fact that it's going so far into this triangle makes me think maybe this one's not going to happen. Sometimes it'd be like that. So that's FUBO, FUBO. Very popular stock right now. Very popular. Way to go. Took profits on FUBO and bought CDIM. Very good second. Good move. All right. Remember, if you guys give me a ticker, give me some type of technical reason why you like it. Price dipped a bit. Oh, okay. OBSV. Theme of the day. Cup and handles. Cups and handle. This is like one of those super slanted ones because you have to take into account the high here. But shit, let's just do this, guys. Makes it easy. Others might draw this differently. I'm ignoring some of the noise from that wick. This is a sexy stock. Who gave me OBSV? You guys. I'm going to get rich. I love you guys. So we are watching OBSV. All right, this looks like Breakout City. So let's go back. The volume is popping. That's what we like to see. Back. Because I want the volume to be relative. Get out of here. Volume is popping. We want to break out. Add it to the watch list. OBSV. That's a cup and handle, folks. Why is it a cup and handle? Well, because it comes from a large upward trend. Let's see if that's 50% when I use my fib retracement tool. Bottom to top, pretty damn close. In fact, it's a bit more. That's a nice dip. We've got some decent accumulation, hitting resistance right here. I wonder if it might even be something like this. Whoa. But I don't want to totally discount that red candle. I'd be interested to hear what someone like Sylvia has to say about this. At any rate, this seems to be an important level because we hit this resistance. But you can totally have a very slanted cup and handle pattern. Cups don't have to be perfect. Everyone's different. Yep, the lines look like the outline of a baby duck. That's right. This is the Orson. Yeah, I was gonna make a joke about some old guy making up this pattern. Failed. All right, so what do we look? PLX. Spell my name right, and then I'll look at PLX. Okay, I'll look at it, but my name is Neal, not Neil. I mean, it looks like we hit the mean and we might be bouncing back up. I wish this candle were green right now. I wish we had green volume. Is this perhaps, what is this trading at? Oh no, it's just a, wait, what is this? We're going to the week so we can see the overall big picture. In fact, we're going to the month. God dang. We're going to the month. We'll look at the big picture here, folks. We're going to decompress our time, stretch it out. Oh my goodness. What have you what have you done? Is this what I think it is? Downward trend, large gap down, sustained low, big buy volume increasing over time. Is it in a sector that's growing? Oh, it's biotherapeutics. I think that might qualify. I think this is a rat snack, guys. I think this is thrown in the dumpster by Wall Street so that the enterprising young rat, the handsomest rats in the city, can come in and gobble it up. Are you telling me that this might be a long-term rounding bottom that needs to fill a gigantic gap? You might just be telling me that. I don't know.
Can I just hop in with some fundamentals quickly?
Please.
Yeah. So of all the headlines that I've seen, that I see in Benzinga Pro, the one that sticks out to me is that they had an offering, which is normal, right? They announced a share offering in last week actually, and it was at a discount. They're raising money at a discount, which 21% discount, which is normal. Is normal. But what that means is that price can sometimes act as a floor, as a magnet, really. So they announced an offering of 7.6 million shares at 460, right? 460 shares. So that 460 price, you're going to want to keep an eye on that.
Thank you, Spencer, for bringing us back down to earth.
Yeah. It's not a bad thing that they're raising money. It's more is it a bad thing that they're raising money at a discount. That's pretty normal. But I just want to say keep that discount price at 460 price in mind. That's all I'm saying. Very good. Fundamentals are disgusting, guys. They make me feel a little bit sick. But we got to take them into account, guys. Got to take them into account. We're not zealots. Thank you, Spencer. QS, didn't we look at this? Oh no, we didn't look at it today. All right, so we're checking on QS. This will be the last one before we bring on our guest for our lesson, Sylvia Bellrock. All right, guys, rounding bottom with a gap to close. This is the daily chart. This is my rounding bottom. This is the downward trend that leads into my rounding bottom, which is a reversal pattern. This area where the daily candle has nothing below it, in between this candle and this candle, is our gap. And we are looking to return back into a bullish trend to fill this gap, meaning
the space between these two lines should get passed through with price action. So that's what we want to see on QS. We are watching it. Volume is generally good. Today's not a great day for the stock. Let's take a look at the short-term trend. Short-term trend is this thing is just kind of cooking. It's staying really high, 2 standard deviations away from the mean. Keep watching it. Keep watching it. All right. This one has to hit this resistance. All right. So this is one of those ones where if you're a very aggressive trader, you can enter now. Just keep your stop loss tight and watch for a continued aggressive trend toward this resistance line and a breakout. The breakout is a closed candle, ideally a day candle above this resistance line. All right. And then when that happens, you can expect to be in gap close city and then in full breakout city, which is, again, the depth of the rounding bottom added to resistance, which gives us a price target of about 107.50 cents. So aggressive traders, do your thing. Do your thing. I don't do that. I like safe plays. I like to absolutely minimize risk as much as possible because I don't have time to watch all this stuff. I work full time at Benzinga. I've got other things to do. So I like nice setups that I can count on working most of the time, at least more than half of the time, to supplement my long-term investments. That's how I play this stuff. All right, guys, that is all I have time for. I'm going to take my chart off. First off, I want to thank you all for tuning in today. I know that sometimes it can be hard to wake up in the morning, look at all this boring chart action, hang out with Neal and his crazy need a haircut look. But I want to say I'm very thankful that you've been with me and that it is my deep, deep pleasure to bring on someone that knows a lot more about technical analysis than I do to give us a little bit of a lesson and let us know which tickers she is watching right now. Spencer, can you please bring onto the show Sylvia Bellrock? That was fast. Hey, Sylvia.
Hi, nice to see you, Neal. And hi, everyone. And thank you so much for inviting me here. It's a pleasure to speak to you today. How are you doing?
Wonderful. And the pleasure is all ours. We're so happy to have you on the show.
Nice, nice. I saw you're doing some research already, some analyzing of some stocks. So how is it going? How is trading treating you?
Trading is right now. I'm pretty good. What I would say is that over the past 2 days, my holdings that have been in the red have been my long-term investments have been hit. That's my ETFs in general, and then my big names like Nvidia was a little bit red.
Oh yeah.
but my short-term holdings, Sylvia, like one FPRX and a few of the picks that we've done on this show, we're staying strong. We were at we had some picks that were like just at breakout points that were staying green during that period of red. So that's been very positive.
Very good. Very good. Sounds good.
How about you, Sylvia? How is the week now that it's Friday and we can look back at the week? How has the week treated you?
Yeah, it's Friday. Finally, it's Friday. Well, it's been a little bit of a wild week, so to say. You know, we had a little bit of a pullback on the market, so we saw a little bit of volatility. It looks like the market is trying to pull back, and if I look at the indices, they're not ready to continue to go up yet. So I'm just patiently waiting right now to see which direction are they going to pick. Are we going to see more green, or are we going to see a deeper pullback? And here, as I look at the ES mini S&P futures chart, you see this tight consolidation here. So that's exactly what I'm looking at and what I'm trying to figure out what is going to happen. And we see here this small support area. And if we continue holding this area as for now, we see those wicks here on those candles, nice reversal candles. So if we continue to hold this area, we might continue higher, But I personally think after such a huge run, it's been like a 10% only in 2 weeks. I do expect a little bit of reversal there and pullback. That's why I'm a little bit more concerned on the long side. And I reduced already last Friday my long exposure. So I'm trying to stay on the lines, wait for the best setups to come to me, of course, and go from there. So that is my plan for now. And of course, overall, I'm looking the big picture first. What are those indices doing, or ETFs like SPY, Qs, and from there I go into that, into those individual stocks, of course, and into some sectors.
All right. So you're talking about some larger market indicators like SPY and the Qs, which I imagine
Exactly.
you're talking about the various NASDAQ ETFs. Are there any particular stocks, individual stocks that you're watching right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I watch a lot of stocks. So first of all, maybe you don't know my trading style. I'm normally swing trading. So my main strategy is swing trading. I'm holding the stocks for a couple of days, weeks, sometimes months, or even I go into investing with holding them for years. And I'm combining I'm not looking on the technical analysis, but I'm also combining some fundamental aspects and looking for some growth stocks with some strong KPIs like earnings per share growth and stuff like that. And so I have a basket of stocks here, of course. First of all, let me introduce you BL. Have you heard of this stock?
I have not heard of BL.
No. Okay, it has definitely some good growth potential here. And one of my favorite setups, Neal, is when I see very strong momentum, strong, nice uptrend. We see here very nice momentum to the upside, small pullbacks, and of course, continuation of that. And the pullbacks are pretty small, always into those support areas, new highs. And I like those kind of stocks which look clean on the chart. So I don't want to see mess on the chart. I don't want to see something going up and down and not knowing where it wants to go. So I prefer stuff like that. And especially if it has some growth potential, like I mentioned, it is very nice if I see a pullback like this. And we see here, of course, this was based on the earnings, but I'm looking mainly for support and resistance areas. And I like when a stock goes up like that, I want to see some kind of a pullback into that support area, which is the previous low in this case, and also a breakout point here. And then I'm trying to pick one or two support areas and build my position from there. So this one is trying to set up here right at the support. That's why I'm watching it very, very closely. Mm-hmm. And in this case, possible stop might be just below. And at the highest, which is 154, this should be the first target. So that's the one I'm looking at.
So, okay, so we're using price history here to establish support. But I also see some lines on the chart. Would you mind letting folks know which lines you are using?
Sure. So I can basically, this is basically a line which you can draw with any drawing tool. I'm basically connecting here the previous lows and looking for support areas. This is my main tool, so to say, which I'm using. I really like to keep it simple. And I use also those moving averages and RSI here. RSI I use mainly just to see where is the stock currently. I don't want to buy at highs. If I see that we have an overextended RSI or RSI above 70, I know, okay, I don't want to buy there. I might start to scale out of my positions and close some. And those moving averages just there for me, just an indication. If I see that something reclaims those moving averages like here, I might enter a position. So those are the three main things I'm using. But basically, support and resistance are for me the most important. And I'm using just a drawing here just to connect the previous lows here and see where was this price exactly at.
I love that you're using price history as the main source of truth. because that's something. It's so easy for new traders to get into their brokerage or their charting tool and see all of the studies and indicators and stuff that's available, and it's so crazy and overwhelming. But yeah, and something that you got to remember, and that we like to remind folks of, it's all about what has happened with the price. Just start with the price.
Absolutely, yeah.
So Sylvia, you mentioned a couple tickers before you came on the show. I'm personally curious about one because I'm holding the bag. I'm holding the bag on one. I really want to know what you think about Apple.
Apple, very good.
Yeah, I was wondering if you could just give me some chart therapy right now.
Sure. Where did you enter?
So I bought calls. I bought calls at what I perceived as a breakout. So if you go back, you can see the little bit of a cup here. Yeah, that forming. I bought at the calls at the point where your pencil is right now, and then I was hoping
139.
Yes, and I was hoping for a little bit of a continuation of the past trend, bolstered by this sort of cup and handle pattern.
Yes.
But what I got was not that.
Yeah, so exactly. So I'm going to tell you, of course, my personal opinion. I personally don't trade breakouts, and this is one of the reasons, because most of the breakouts, I think it's even 80 or 90% of the breakouts, of course, depends on the stock, but most of the breakouts fail. And the point is, of course, what is your risk reward? So what was your, let's say, mental stop? Where would you have been out of this stock in this case if you enter here?
So this is an embarrassing trade. Guys, I bought the calls on Apple. I put in it's like $1,000 worth of calls.
Yes.
My mental stop was non-existent.
Okay,
my mindset was, this is going to make me rich. Nothing else can possibly happen.
So what expiration do you have? What is the expiration?
March something. So I think it's mid-March.
Okay. So here is my thought on in general, first of all, on the options, of course, and then on the chart. So options, I bought yesterday Apple, by the way. So when I bought it here, and of course, I plan, if it continues to go lower into this next support areas, I'm going to add. I bought also calls, but I have at the money calls, I think it was 125 calls, and expiration date is 2022 March. So I have a lot of time left for those.
In the money 2022?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, in the money. So there's a reason behind that, and it is because those in the money or at the money close, especially in the money close, actually, they have some intrinsic value, and I just feel better when I know I'm not buying something completely out of the money. And I have realized over the years that this in the money calls are working much better. And of course, very important is, in my opinion, the how much expiration do you give them? And for me, it is at least 3 months, because if I don't have 3 months, I don't have enough room for errors, which means if the stock goes against me, I don't have time to wait it out. I'm running out of time, because as you know, the options decrease. And if you have out of the money calls and you have very tight expiration, basically most of them will expire worthless. Of course, you can have here and there some huge move to the upside, but most of them will expire worthless. So I'm trying to find out some in the money calls with enough time, at least 3 months. So if the stock tries to consolidate or go sideways for a while or pulls back, I am not going to get stressed out or lose on that.
So
that's with the
okay, so I did the opposite of that. I got, and we're getting questions in chat. What does in the money mean with a call option? That means that the strike price, basically you're betting that the stock will get to this price, is below the current price of the stock, the underlying asset. So it's better odds, and usually those are more expensive to buy.
Yes.
But if you're me, you bought out of the money calls, that we're approaching your aggressive breakout target with a short-term expiration, and the value of your contract promptly went to zero.
Yes. So I actually see this is my personal opinion. Of course, I'm not saying it's not going to work, but if you're buying here, the problem is if you're buying here. So let's say you bought here 139, around 139 here, and your stop it should be the previous low. So you're asking, the previous low in this case is 126. So you're asking 126 to 139. You're asking this stock to go, in order to make this risk worth it, at least you have to calculate risk rewards 1 to 2, where if you're risking, let's say, on a trade $100, you want to make at least 200 in order to work over the long run. So this basically means that if you enter here at this price, you're asking the stock to go more than $20 in this short period of time, especially in this case with your out of the money calls for March, which means the probability that for a stock like Apple this is going to happen is very low, So basically you will have much more probability of success if you're waiting for some kind of a pullback, because as soon as we reach some point of a pullback support areas like we see here, the probability that we're going to see a quick bounce or even a huge bounce or new highs out of this support area is much higher than if you buy here and asking the stock to continue to go up without even pulling back in the next month. You know what I mean?
I do.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense. It makes a lot more sense than what I did. So that's great. So it sounds like do you use options a lot in your trading?
Yes, I do use, not always, but sometimes I just prefer options, especially if I'm not sure. Some of those stocks, you never know if they have some kind of a gap down or something happens. So I prefer options. Of course, you have much better leverage with options, and you can grow very fast a small account with options, or you can go in the opposite, as we know. But options are great, in my opinion, for growing a small account. Yeah, I use them too. Yeah.
Good, but definitely know what you're doing before you just hop in there. Okay, so this is Apple. What other stocks are you interested in right now, Sylvia?
I am interested here in this is one of my favorite patterns, by the way, QRVO. Let me show you QRVO. Exactly. It looks like it's going to work out, this one. So QRVO is another one. Maybe you are recognizing here my my pattern. I'm looking for very clean uptrending stocks which have some nice fundamentals, some growth potential, of course, and trying to combine that with technical analysis and sometimes buy the options of those. So in this case, we see here very nice uptrend. Consolidating here a little bit, broke out, made nice new high, came back down, very small, tiny pullback here, which is a sign of a strength that the bulls are in control. And then it continued to go higher, pulled back again, and now we see here this earnings, and they had earnings and they gapped down. Now what I'm seeing with a lot of stocks, not all, but a lot of stocks, are just gapping down based on earnings, even though the earnings are actually pretty good. They made some good money. They actually bet, most of the cases, the stocks which I'm looking at, they bet the expectations, so they did better, but you just never know how the investors are reacting to that. And sometimes they have to get rid of positions, so you see that kind of a pullback or gap down, like in this case. And this is for me a great opportunity to start looking for to buy, because you never have, not always you have some kind of a pullback like that. Mm-hmm. And so I saw this here, and this is, as we can see here, right into the support. This was the previous low here. It came back here, and I started, I'm not sure this or this candle, I started somewhere, or this one, I somewhere around this area. I actually have a position here, And of course, I'm looking now to see if this is going to continue higher and reach the previous highs here. So that is the one I'm looking at, and still very nice setup because we had a tiny consolidation and now it looks like it's breaking out above those EMAs here, reclaiming. So still a good setup.
Where are you setting your stop loss for that setup?
So in this case, because I entered around this area, 167, my stop loss, I'm using mental stop loss, by the way, my stop loss will be in this case just below the support. So if I see the stock breaking down, closing below this support area, this would mean for me, okay, get out of here. This didn't work. I have to look for something else. So in this case, it will be if it closes below 163 area.
Okay, so I just Googled mental stop loss. I'm wondering if you could tell folks what you mean by that.
Sure. So mental stop loss basically means I'm not putting like physical stop loss in my account. So let's say what some people are doing, they're just buying 100 shares, buy order here, and they have a sell stop order, like I said, maybe around 163, like I said. And then if the stock hits it, it gets executed, and they're just getting out of the stock. Now, for my personal opinion, I've been doing that in the past years a lot. And unfortunately, what happens often is that you're getting stopped out and only $1 or $2 for like stopped out for nothing. I don't know if you have experienced that, but you're getting stopped out 1 or 2 days later, a week later, you realize the stock is going higher, making new highs, and you're just not part of it because you got stopped out.
Yes.
Do you know?
I have 4 words for you. MVIS. MVIS got me. Okay, so that takes discipline, though, I imagine.
Yes, and I'm using it because I want to see, of course, the price action. I'm looking very closely what happens at the close. So my positions are opened or closed basically during the day. I don't do a lot most of the time at the end of the day because I want to see how the candles are closing, what is the price action. And a lot of times they just go through support, but they are bulls are stepping in, and then you see a huge reversal candle or doji candle, whatever you want to call it, and then they pull just right back. So I don't want to be the person who gets stopped out only to watch later it goes up. So I want to see how it closes and decide based on that if I'm going to close it or what I'm going to do with it.
And I'm getting a lot, Sylvia. I'm not sure if you can see the chat section on YouTube or here.
I don't see it.
We're getting a lot of people that are saying amen to using mental stop losses because it sounds like a lot of folks are tired of getting stopped out.
Yes. Yes, it is true.
It's not a good feeling.
This is a bad thing, guys. I'm telling you, I've been doing it for a long period of time, and you look like a fool at the end of the day. How often you thought you finally got it and it's great stock, you got stopped out and continues without you. It's just, I hate that.
I know that feeling well. Multiple experiences in life. All right, Sylvia, are there any other stocks that you think would be good to show that have sort of an educational value?
I think this one other which I'm looking at, this is similar situation, QCOM, very similar to QRVO, which I'm looking at. It is very nice gaps here, nice uptrend, same situation, pullback based on earnings right into support. This is not very strong yet. I'm going to give it some time, but also very nice to see same pattern over and over again. Pullback, but even though they bet expectations, now it is at support. So very nice setup as well. This is the same setup what I'm looking over and over again, but they not always work, of course, as we know.
So I have a question. Now let's step back and talk more broadly, because I got a little glimpse of your watch list, and it's a big watch list. You've got a lot of tickers in there. So I imagine that takes a lot of time for you to go in and look through each one. At the end of the day, much of this is still a manual process. Could you give me an idea of what your schedule looks like? Like, when do you start doing your research? When do you make your setups? When are you monitoring your setups? What is the average day in the life of Sylvia Bellrock look like?
Yes. Well, I'm doing the research or deeper research most of the time during the weekend, because I just want to take my time, don't get stressed, because during market days, during trading opening days, I'm just too busy with looking at some stocks, and I cannot really take my time to go in depth with those stocks. So I do that most of the time over the weekend, try to find some nice strong sectors, then try to find who performed the best, and from there I try to find, of course, some KPIs. What are the increasing earnings per share over the past years, quarters? How many funds are buying the stock? So I go more into this fundamental direction, and after that I have a basket, like, let's say 20 or 50 stocks, depends. And then from there, I go through them and pick the best looking chart, which is at support area with best risk reward. And I have them on watch. And of course, I'm going over and over again through those stocks during the day. So pre-market, I just watch what is the index doing, what are the futures doing, how are those stocks performing, and scrolling up and down through all of them every here and there a couple of hours, because I'm a swing trader. I don't watch every tick, but I still scroll through all of them during the day. And that's how I put some alarms, so I'm not going to miss it, hopefully. And a lot of times I miss it too. And that's how it works. And I have also watch list for my members, where I send this detailed report with fundamentals and stuff like that, and exact setups. And that's my overall schedule.
Quite the schedule. That's a lot going on there. I love the starting with fundamentals over the weekend, and then narrowing it down with technicals. I can say that you probably spend 3 more times on this stuff than I do, and that's why you're so darn good at it, Sylvia. So Sylvia, I have one more question. We are at time. I have one more question for you. Well, can I ask 2 questions, Sylvia? Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. You can ask as many as you want. It's my pleasure to talk to you.
Okay. So my first question is, what is your absolute favorite stock of 2021 for any reason at all?
That is a good question. I have to think. 2021. Maybe I think it was Etsy, because I made some quick profit on this. And it is a very strong stock, as you can see too. A very strong looking chart. I think I entered it here, exited around here, and now it continues actually. So very nice looking chart, made me a nice gain very fast. So that's why I like it.
That is a good reason to like the stock. And yeah, so good answer. Usually that's like a personality test, actually, but that's a very pragmatic reason to like it. Final question, Sylvia. Where can folks find more from you so they can keep learning?
Sure, guys, you can definitely visit me at sylviabellrock.com is my website, and I have a free Discord chat. If you want to join in, feel free to visit my website and register for the free chat. I'm available there. Also on Twitter, I'm active at Sylvia Bellrock, and I will be happy to connect with you, of course.
Wonderful. Sylvia, you've been a fantastic guest, and I want to thank you for joining us today.
Thank you too, Neal. So I hope your trades will go good. How long are you trading, by the way?
Well, I've been trading since perhaps 2006, since I was about 16 years old. Okay. But I've only really gotten very, very active in the past like 3 or 4 years. Increasingly so. This is the most active I've ever been.
Nice. Very good. Very good.
Well, thank you again, Sylvia. And folks, make sure to check Sylvia out at Sylvia Bellrock. And Spencer, make sure that you drop. Yep. Thank you. Thank you, Sylvia. Have a good day. Spencer, make sure you drop the link to Sylvia's website, please. It's in the Get Technical show notes doc that I whipped up this morning. All right, guys, we are 1 minute until we start our Benzinga Pro showcase, where we show you one teeny tiny, itty bitty, super easy thing that you can do with Benzinga Pro to make you bigly successful in the markets. And that is with the one and only Ryan Faluna, and also one and only the singular Jonathan Mallard. So guys, I want to thank you very much for another wonderful morning. Happy Friday. It is the last day of the week for traders. Going into the weekend, I will be taking a Sylvia Bellrock tip and doing some research, and I will come back to you on Monday with a lot of new picks and some updates on my watch list. And guys, if you want to see what's going on with the watch list over the weekend and follow me and what I'm doing on with cryptocurrency, which can be traded 24/7, 365, follow me on Twitter at Neal's Tweets. I would love to talk technicals with you guys. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum are what I'm watching right now. Dogecoin, if I have time to sit there and really, really watch it quickly, we can have a lot of fun there. So that's it, guys.
Wait, don't leave without telling the people what you're doing tomorrow.
Spencer, thank you so much. I made a mental note. I made a mental stop loss to remind folks about
mental
this.
Stop losses, man. That's the thing about mental stop losses. You remember them.
You got to remember them. Guys, tomorrow, Get Technical in the morning is silly fun times. All right. It's silly fun times, but tomorrow's when we get serious. Tomorrow is the Benzinga Bootcamp covering options and SPACs, how to trade them from zero to hero. We're going to get the link in the chat. We're going to get all the instructions and stuff. Spencer's dropping it in. BenzingaBootcamp.com. I'll be there. Hot Stocks Luke Jacoby will be there. I believe Ryan Faluna will be there. There's going to be a ton of great educators covering every single question you've ever had. Paper or plastic, left or right, boxers or briefs, baby. We got you got questions, we got answers. Be there or be square. I'm really looking forward to it. BenzingaBootcamp.com is going to be a lot of fun, but we're serious about this. This is boot camp, so you're going to learn something. All right. So hopefully we see you there. Thanks, guys, so much for your time. This has been Get Technical. I'm Neal, and happy trading.